everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unfollowed with Emily. You want to introduce yourself? We're going to work on our intro. It's okay. It's only episode something, like 15,
I know.
16.
I've given up after like the first one. Really?
So we have Emily Saves America, and I run the account NonLibTake. And my name, what if I just never pronounce my name for people so no one ever knew how to say my black girl name? Arynne, as Mr. A. Jones. We can't say his full name lest we be labeled as like supporting terrorism or something by any of these platforms. No, when he's Arynne Wexler, for anyone who doesn't know what we're referring to, there was a guy whose news site was shut down and then not shut down this week. So he called me Arynne Wexler on his show once. So glorious. So by the way, I'm in Virginia right now. I'm in DC for a couple days for a number of things. And I'm at my cousin's house and I'm actually going to turn on the fireplace on Netflix. We're setting a vibe instead of Gossip Girl playing in the back. Oh wait, I should have played from beginning. No, there we go.
Well, make sure you played from beginning. You wouldn't want anything
what I want to have happen is at the end of this, when the fireplace has finished playing, that it will just go into Gossip Girl at the end of our show. At the end of the episode.
Which I will be starting because somehow I haven't seen and I feel like I'm going to like it.
You've never watched Gossip Girl?
No, which is insane. This is
my God.
So bright. Like if I'm not white enough, like this is crazy.
Also, my colors are also really off because I didn't change anything on my camera. But we're going to move on. I feel like the people watching this hate this and no one cares about this.
Yeah, just go. I'm going to figure this out as we go.
Yeah. Also, Emily, it looks like you're like, I know you have a setup for yourself now in your dining room or something, right? You're like in a little cardboard box.
It literally, I'm not even joking. So, my friend Mike hooked me up with a bunch of, it's like sound insulation because we have like.
Your sound is way better now than from before.
This is insane looking. She's seen the pics because my living room has like fucking, not like, I sound like an asshole, has like 15 fucking foot tall ceilings. So basically like when you walk in, it basically sounds like you're shouting into a cave. And I know my sound sucks and I'm going to have to get a thing to extend this so we don't have to fucking hold it because it's insane. But
but you sound really good right now.
It gets unplugged super, super fucking easily. This thing sucks. I'm going to get another one. But so basically what we did is just set up our dining room. So I just surrounded myself with soundboards and then locked myself in like it's a fucking cave. So that's what we're working with. But look at everything I do for you guys.
Look at what she does for you. But also it's funny because the background, like it looks like I'm in an insane asylum. It looks like an insane asylum where like you're supposed to be. It's like a padded room.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I wanted just normal colors so I didn't lose my mind. And I didn't want black because then I would just be a floating fucking blonde head. And then I was like, well, I don't want like orange or blue or any of that. So this is what we're working with. This was the most beautiful color. So here we are.
That's so funny. So by the way, just to wrap up where we are right now, I think Sebastian Gorka, the great Dr. Sebastian Gorka, thinks I'm stalking him because I sent him a message tonight. And I was like, I'm like literally staying around the corner from his studio.
I'm here.
I was like, I'm here. And he was like, okay. So concerned. But the last time I was here in October, and if anyone here, I don't know what people would have seen, but I was on Timcast out in West Virginia. But I came into DC for an afternoon and I went to Gorka's studio. And it was such a crazy day because my train was super delayed. Thanks, Pete Buttigieg. So glad you took maternity leave for all those months so you could wear a fake boob to just like have a fake teat for your baby. Okay. So train's not working. I get in super delayed. I'm rushing in, like sweating, going to my Gorka show, like the segment. And I was ashamed because I really wanted to say hi before, have some time, had no time. And then I'm rushing to go to West Virginia for Timcast. And I ran across the street to a Cava to grab something really fast to eat in the car on the way to West Virginia. Like it was just one of those days. And I was walking with my cousin tonight and we go to walk into Cava and I'm like, I've been here before. Like we're here. I've been here before. And I look across the street and I'm like, that's Sebastian Gorka's studio. And and now he thinks I'm stalking him, which is perfect for me.
I love him.
For me.
He was nice enough to give Monk Fruit a shout out on the pod.
He's had both of us on the pod and he needs to come on here.
I also would like to point out, I'm wearing because it looks like
I
Fauci
saw.
for president. It's Dr. Fauci for prisons. Let's not get it corrected.
The prison
And
should be bigger. No offense. Is it your
well,
sweatshirt? Did you
this was
design
a
this?
sample that I never produced. So I'm gonna rework it because I do really like it. But it's funny because people are like, and then they're like, eh. But I would also like to point out, thank you for all the comments being like, Emily just doesn't even bother getting ready anymore. Okay, it's literally winter time. And by the way, today's the first day in 3 weeks I've been getting my ass kicked. I've literally been bedridden for 3 weeks with like probably COVID. Let's be real. And then I finally took 2 days worth of ivermectin and I'm already fine today. And I'm like literally going to work out tomorrow.
Emily, no, we can't put this on YouTube. If you're going to talk about schmeiverschmectin, 2 seconds into our episode, are we allowed to talk about it now? Didn't they take Joe Rogan's
can you talk about ivermectin? It won like a Nobel Prize. We can't talk about it?
I think, whatever, it's fine. We're already dinged on YouTube. We're already in YouTube prison. It doesn't matter.
That's crazy though, because that is like a widely known thing.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. I know that there are certain words.
I got it from a doctor, and I felt better in 24 hours.
Joe Rogan also had it from a doctor, and they made him like a fake gray on the news when he said that he was fine. So I know that was years ago. Listen, we're gonna see. We'll see. This is why we're also on Rumble and Spotify and Apple Pods. So wherever. I'm actually curious where most people listen to this.
Demonetized me today, so that's cool.
You're what?
Instagram also demonetized me, and now my profile's not being shown to people.
Okay, listen, whenever you say that sucks, but every time you say this, I feel like I'm the meme of the guy saying like, you guys are getting paid? Because like Instagram doesn't pay me shit because I'm fully demonetized. Because, oh my God,
from Where the Millers?
Yeah. I'm like, you guys are getting paid? Like I've never had a single penny given to me from Instagram. I need to fix this camera.
Yeah. Okay,
Instagram doesn't pay me.
Just like
because I'm full, from video one, they were like, this is offensive. You're not going to be paid.
See, I'm shocked because like I make a decent amount just posting.
No, it's okay, Emily. Like, continue to tell me how much money you make off of
Xavier
Instagram.
said he's like demonetized too, and I'm like, I thought everyone was monetized and making money off Instagram. I didn't realize somehow the person who posts the most offensive things has been dinged the latest. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to call them tomorrow and I'll talk to them for 6 fucking hours. I will not stop until they take that off because I am a psycho with them and I will literally spend like 3 weeks getting it off. But anyways, I also wanted to point out, I literally was like about to post on my Instagram today. Sorry, it's late in the day, so I'm exhausted. This is like, I have jammies on. Like I want to be going to bed soon.
Yeah.
And so I literally was like, I don't know why, because it's like, I need to post on my Instagram like, hi guys, we do a podcast that is comedy driven. I'm not saying it's a comedy podcast, but it's like it is supposed to be a funny podcast. And I'm like, I'm literally at the point where like, even if you are my friend and you leave a comment saying you don't like something we said, I don't care about how egregious it is. I am going to fucking unfollow you because I think there's something wrong with you and you're like literally autistic. Like if you have a problem with something, call or text me. But the thing is, my friends would never call and text me because they'd be like, that's literally Emily. Also, she's probably joking. Like, it's literally a fucking podcast. But I'm literally just like, are you guys retarded? Like, well, literally, what is wrong with you?
No, people are retarded. That's what we've learned. That's what we've learned. I also, I've learned from posting. I posted an old video of mine onto X today. And I just said, like, people don't know what a woman is, like, and this is just an old video. And I was like, let me just like throw it on X to have it there because people ask for my videos from Instagram to be on X. So I'm like, fine, I'll upload this. And people liked it on Instagram, but I'm just saying, what is a woman? I could tell you exactly what a woman is. A woman is a creature who makes plans and goes to those plans. And once she sees the parking situation, she abandons the plans. She just normal spot. Regular. Yeah. She just abandons the plans because she's afraid, or like she tries to she tries to parallel park and people are watching and people are passing. It's like stressful. That is a woman. And all these people were commenting on it. Multiple people said, you can't define a word with the same word. I'm like, I didn't. Where in there do I say woman again? I'm like, a woman is a creature who shows up to an event and abandons her plans. And I'm like, I can't like if you're too dumb to understand our jokes, we don't want you following us. That's what part of why I think the metamorphosis of the name of the podcast started as Unfollowed because people usually follow us and then unfollow us once they realize how conservative we are. And they let us know because they'll follow us from something cultural. They're like, oh my God, I love your video on this. And then they realize that we're super based and they're like, oh my God, I hate being based. I hate having a fucking brain. And then they unfollow us. But now part of Unfollowed is we're unfollowing you. We want you to unfollow us if you can't take a joke and if you're dumb.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's weird too, because it's like, I don't agree with this. Why do you think I fucking care if you agree or not? I'm sorry. Does that mean you've agreed with everything until this point? Like, it's so weird to even leave that comment. I'm like, first of all, if you were a good friend, you would like and support and agree no matter what. And you would never draw a line.
Are these friends of yours that are doing this? I feel like there's some
that's the thing. Like, this girl who like, I don't even think I've ever met in person, to be fair, commented, and she was like, I totally disagree with what we said about like women going into war. She was like, that is so disrespectful to our veterans. And
you mean what we said to recap anyone who missed last week's episode, that we said men love boobs, and so putting women into men's combat units is not a good idea? Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, did you miss the part about the boobs that was supposed to be funny? Also, like, congrats. Like, we're not talking down to you. We just don't fucking care. Like, it was so dumb that I actually just wanted to be like, immediately unfollow.
Unfollow. Immediately. No, it's like, honestly, it's like, it's not that not that we're offended. It's that we don't care about you. It's the takeaway.
I just like don't understand. It's just weird because it never in my life have my friends or anyone I've ever met posted something that I disagree with. And I literally like went through the effort to comment and be like, I'm so sorry. But like, I'm not going to lie. If you were someone that did that, I don't like you. Like, even if you thought we were friends yesterday, just know we're fucking not today. And I don't like you and I'm going to unfollow you.
The show's title should be Unfollowed and Disliked.
Sorry, that just really bothered me because it's just like really like petty and like, no offense to your acting. Why are you acting like a fucking liberal?
There's so many people on the right. There are a lot of people. I'm going to talk to you about something offline after this about people acting like woke ass leftists, even though they're on the right, and it's just people being pussies. So there's a lot of that.
It's just really annoying. I was like, I have to get this out of my chest. I literally can't. Also, oh my God. Because this is already going to go on Rumble anyways. I'm so sorry. Can we please talk about, like, since we've already talked about ivermectin, we literally have to, I'll edit it for YouTube. It's fine. We talk about the 21-year-old DNC influencer who, like, literally is morbidly obese that was talking shit on Bobby Kennedy for being in charge of, like,
health. That. I know exactly who you're talking about, though. I know exactly which influencer you're referring to.
Olivia?
Yeah. I know what she looks like. She's a balloon. She's a balloon.
She's fucking huge.
She must be 450 pounds. Like, she's huge.
I literally was like, I'm sorry, if you're the next person to get casted for TLC My 600-Pound Life, I don't think you need to be talking about Bobby Kennedy about the fucking health of our country.
No,
and it's 21.
No, it's so ridiculous. Also, the same people who aren't upset about the current chair, right? Like, they're not upset about all these fat losers.
Oh, the like fat tranny.
Yeah, it's like a fat man pretending to be a woman as the current, right?
It's literally a fat, mentally ill
Rachel
tranny.
Levine? Richard Levine, by the way, who went his entire life as a man up until 3 seconds ago. My favorite is all these magazines that are like, oh my God, first female, whatever, like HHS chair. And it's like, it's literally a dude. It's a dude who went by Richard Levine for his entire life, had children, and then as a grown-ass man was like, I'm a woman now because I wear stockings and put on lipstick.
Oh my God. If that was my dad, I'd be on so many SSRIs. It's crazy.
I know. That'd be so, yeah. Doesn't it make you kind of sympathize with the Kardashians when you realize, because I think I don't believe in witches, but I think they could be witches. But I also kind of am like, can you imagine growing up with a dad who defended OJ and then with Bruce Jenner cross-dressing in the bathroom, and you're just like, there's something
extremely dark going on, but like, oh my God, it was so funny because she was the one that went viral because she was at the DNC and they gave her the microphone, and then she was like something about like nothing left to eat at the table, or like, you know, some socialism bullshit, like, well, we're all eating at the table, and everyone was like, why would you choose her to say that line?
No, I know exactly who you're talking about. She's like the exact example of like why leftist women don't need to be worried about abortion because they are their own walking abortions, and she's the perfect example of that.
Yeah, also I'm like, how is it even possible? Like, who, like, it's just crazy because I'm like, imagine even like, okay, she's 21. I was really stupid at 21. I was also like a solid like 89 pounds and looked incredible, but it's just crazy at 20.
Phenomenal. Heroin chic. Heroin chic, but is making a comeback. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, but it's just crazy at 21 to be like, hey, I'm morbidly obese, paid by the DNC, and let me talk shit on someone who's dedicated their entire life to like study this and has personally lived through these experiences. And then I'm just like, and it's funny too, because she's a Democrat in Texas and is obsessed with flipping Texas blue, and I'm like, bitch, there's a better chance of me flipping fucking California red than you flipping Texas.
No, it's blue. So that's like what does Gen Z say? They're like delulu. That's like all they say. So
God bless them.
No, God, no. It's like, what is it? People in the South, they bless your heart. I'm just gonna start saying that to
bless
fat
your big
leftists.
Heart.
I mean,
bless your overinflated myocarditis heart. All right, this is definitely going down as the Mean Girl episode.
This is such a Mean Girl episode.
Is not factual.
No, let me dig this hole a little deeper for us before we move on to other things. I want to talk about UFC, but before we do that, I just wanted to say that I saw a very fair tweet that a girl, Stephanie Tyler, I think it's Tyler. I really like her account. I've been following her recently and chatting with her a little bit. And she's just like a based hot girl on X for anyone who is looking for more based hot girls to follow. Yeah. She's very good. I really want to have her on the show in the next few weeks. So we'll have her on for sure soon. And she's like a small business owner out of Vegas. And she's just kind of been growing on X. And she has a similar story to you where she started liberal and just like decided to start asking questions and realized that like she wasn't allowed to ask questions in her group. And then, you know, like lost one of her best friends, all this stuff. But she tweeted out recently, like, why is it that my size 0 leggings at Lulu Lemon cost the same as a size 18? And like why is a small the same as an XXL? And she looked into it, and it turns out that they actually raised the price for all leggings so that way they could afford, so that because they don't want to appear like rude and sizist by charging more for XXL. And so when you're paying for your small or medium or even large leggings, they actually just raise the cost of it. Is that not crazy? And they do that to cover the cost of the very large ones. And you know what? It would actually be a service to people in this country if we just got rid of those sizes. If we eliminated XXL, if you had to make your own fucking clothes because you're so large, maybe you would just lose the weight.
Yeah.
I know this is going to be unpopular. And you know, this is unpopular on both sides because there are people on both sides of the aisle where this is a problem, but this is just a reality. And
so we're paying the inflation for fat people, which is so crazy because
it's the same thing with healthcare. It's the same thing with healthcare. It's the exact same problem.
That's what's so fucking annoying is like, so you choose to be fat and sick. And it's also like, let's be real. And fat people in politics, you can't control what goes in your fucking mouth. So I'm not going to trust you with what's coming out of it. And it's like, so wait a minute, because you're all fucking fat and sick, healthy people have to fucking pay for you the same way. Oh, so my luggage can't be a pound overweight, but then I can have some fucking fat ass next to me taking up the entire seat and they get their luggage too, but I have to pay.
I think about that all the time. I think about that all the time when they're being stingy about like, oh, your bag is 2 pounds overweight. I'm like, I'm like 60 pounds lighter than like the woman next to me on the street.
I go, and so is she. And look at the woman next to me. And I'd be like, well, what are we going to do?
I know. Well, all right. Listen, at this point, we probably we lost the people who got mad at us over the rescue dog comments, and now we're going to lose the people that will get mad at us about the weight. But like, this is the reality. It doesn't mean I don't have sympathy for people who are trying to lose weight, but no excuse. You know, I was saying to friends recently, I'm like, you know, when someone's like, I have friends like this. I have good friends who are on Mounjaro and Ozempic, which I think is so dangerous. And I think it's like anything. The cheap way is the expensive way. If you're on something like that, I just think it's like. I know a lot of people who've had like weird organ things happen where they have surgery. Like there's really suspicious stuff happening. At the end of the day, if you stick someone in a room and you don't give them food, they will lose weight. So that means that if you have a calorie deficit and you're working out, you're eating the right things, you will it's not actually possible to maintain weight if you have a calorie deficit. It's not possible. Okay. And so like, that's why like you don't see, when have you ever seen a fat person in a poor country? You haven't.
No.
You've never seen that, right?
No, and the what I eat in a days on TikTok are fucking criminal. These people there should be services where you literally kidnap people and hold them hostage and literally starve them. And it should start with every fucking fat girl on TikTok that's like, here's what I ate today. And the craziest part about it, because it bothers me and I have to like shame them to my boyfriend. I'm like, the craziest part about it is like, I love when fat people complain, like, we don't have access to the healthy food. Oh, we can't afford healthy food. And I'm like, okay, let me get this straight. So I can go to Erewhon once a day, get a hot plate. And literally that'll be my only meal the entire day. And like, let's say roughly it's $18 to $25. I watch these fucking land mammals fucking go through 10 different drive-thrus a day. They eat out every single meal. You add it all up, at the end of the day, it's like $150 worth of food.
Yeah. Well, not just that. You can't afford it. I'm pretty sure all the poor kids in India and Africa don't have money, and that's why they're skinny.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be okay.
It's actually
You'll be okay if you miss one fucking meal. But it's crazy. It's like, wake up, Chick-fil-A, not necessarily that cheap. And then it's like McDonald's, then go through another, then Dunkin' Donuts for a snack, and then Starbucks for a coffee. I'm like,
it's about
crazy?
choices. It's all choices. No, it's all choices. And you know what? Anyone who's like, I've had so many people say to me, you know, oh, I like, because they look at us and they're like, oh, you're just like a skinny bitch. You don't get it, which is correct. We're skinny bitches. We don't get it. But I will also say, and by the way, my cousin's sitting here watching me say this, and she's like laughing and in shock, but also like nodding to this part. But that's because we have the same genes.
Oh, it's good. We actually have like a live audience for once.
It's like almost like being on Gutfeld, except I have one person and there's no like laugh sign. She's like actually just laughing for fun. But I say that like, but also like have me on Gutfeld. But anyway, but I've had people say to me, you know, like, oh, like I've eaten better and I'm exercising and all this stuff, and I'm still not losing the weight. Whenever someone says that to you, they're lying to you. They are lying. There's just no way. There's just no way. So this is all to say that maybe this is the reality check that someone needs to hear if they're listening to this, which is you can do it. We believe in you. No, this is a no excuse zone. We don't have excuses here. And that's like, we're honest about things with each other, with all that. Like, this is no excuses. So anyways, I really want to talk about UFC because like, it was just so epic this weekend to see Donald Trump walking back into MSG. Last time he was there, I'm pretty sure was that MSG rally just before the election that I got to be at, end of like the very beginning of November, very end of October. I forget the exact date. And him walking in with Dana White, flanked by Elon Musk, RFKJ, Tulsi Gabbard, and then Mike Johnson, just looking like such a dweeb with like the finger guns.
I was like, God bless him. He's probably living for these moments because he could not look more out of place.
It was so funny. It was so cute.
But do we like him? Because wasn't he the one that the whole time like Biden was talking, he was like rolling his eyes and making facial like gestures, and it was really funny?
It's a lot of people in MAGA generally think he like acts kind of like you know, it's like a lot of people, they become speaker and then all of a sudden they're like a rhino and they just like give in to DC and they don't push agendas that people like. I know that's like a general consensus on him. But
I have no feelings.
But he's still the speaker, and he was like, it's like the cool kids finally invited him to sit at the table.
It's kind of funny. I guess that's kind of good. That's kind of good for us, I guess.
Yeah, and I love the moments of like Elon scrolling through, like he was probably like scrolling through X and like laughing at memes, and Trump is like, put your phone away.
Oh my God, all the Kennedy memes, I'm like literally dying. They're so funny. I also think it's really weird. I was at a wellness event, and then the next night we had a dinner with these girls too, and it's so interesting to me because I can't get a solid response as of why would any single person, no matter how much you hate Republicans, you hate Trump, whatever, why would anyone be upset that we're attempting to make America healthy again? Also, people are dumb, so I'm not shocked. When people call Bobby Kennedy an anti-vaxxer, he's not anti-vax. He's pro-transparency and wants to hold these vaccine companies liable. So when people that are ironically the people that get the vaccines that like could potentially be injured. And I'm like, that's not anti-vax. He also has vaccines and has a vaccine injury, I assume, which is why he's doing most of this. So I'm like, why? I hate that that's not just like a blanket, like, hey, this is obviously like false information. Like, why do you guys continue to peddle this? Why would you not want America to be healthy? And why would you not want transparency like with companies that like could potentially harm you?
Well, people hate transparency because there's too much money for them to make when there's no transparency. And now they're all quitting. That's the problem. I know, but I love that. Like also there are how many empty threats, you know, all these people who are like, if Matt Gaetz gets confirmed for AG, I'm out of here. It's like, great. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. But I bet most of those people would not actually do it. They're threatening it, hoping that it deters people, and it's not going to deter anybody because we're not the same party as we were 4 years ago, and that's not happening. We're not bending to that. We're not bending the knee. And like we used to get scared of that stuff, and now we know just not to listen to it because there's no pleasing these people. But to your point, no, people are obviously, I mean, so many people were, imagine living through this time and seeing that photo and being mad about it. Cause I was just living for all the memes, but also, you know what? I love that he decided to just like have Mickey D's with the boys, because that's normal. Like, part of being healthy is being realistic about what your life is like. So it's not to say that you're never going to have fast food. Not to say you're never going to have bad stuff. It's that you're going to make good choices, and that once in a while you're going to splurge, you're going to indulge, you're going to have a little Mickey D's with the boys. But I really love also that like Trump there making RFKJ like have McDonald's with him. That's pledge master vibes for real.
Like he's held ransom is so funny.
Yeah, but it's like he's like the pledge master that you love and respect, but like you still have to, like, it's still pledging, like he's still hazing you, you know, like that's Trump with RFKJ, where it's like pledge master Trump. I think it's a good title for him.
The wellness industry is very, very funny, because the way we have rhinos, the wellness industry has rhinos. So if some chick is sponsored by Kellogg's and Hershey's, and she's telling you that, as you know, the fat girl who doesn't want to give up food and actually exercise, when that girl's telling you you can go to fast food restaurants and it can be healthy option, she's a fucking liar. What my friends who are honest do, they say, hey, sometimes you're on a road trip for 6 hours and there's only a McDonald's. At no point in time is this ever healthy or a healthy option. But if you're going to go there, let me show you the healthiest thing you can get. See, that's being transparent. That's why it's like, it's funny, even in the wellness industry, now you have all these people that I realize are completely full of shit. And let's talk about like crazy. A lot of the people that are in the yoga industry and wellness industry are like insanely fucking corrupt, and you have to be careful too, because anyone pushing that that's healthy for you is ironically always seems to be backed and paid for by these huge companies. So it's like, no, my girlfriend or my friend Max, I think, made a video, so did my girlfriend Courtney. Okay, if you're going to go to McDonald's, like, here's what you can do. You can get like just the patties, the meat, sprinkle salt on, blah, blah. Some places, actually, there's like a vegan place here that like doesn't fry their fries in seed oils and all this shit. But it's like anyone telling you otherwise is like full of shit and like 100% paid for.
Well, who is that? Remember that male fitness influencer who was exposed for roiding up? And like his whole thing was like, he had a huge... Paul Saladino? I wouldn't remember the name, but it was just like he had some big empire and he was making millions a year off of getting people to follow his routine.
It was Liver King, and then he was on fucking steroids and shit. And the thing about it is, if you were just honest about being on steroids, no one would have been mad at you. It's just the fact that you lied about it. And like 100%. You said, everything just comes back to transparency. But it's so funny because the only thing I like was when we were at the wellness dinner, I was saying there's the one thing in common with every single person in this country that is sick and unhealthy and most likely liberal is accountability. Because they're like, well, I'm just going to go to this doctor and just take this pill. First of all, no pill is a fix. It's a fucking cover up. You always have to get to the root of the cause. And like, I know, because I'm at the beginning stages of my wellness journey, and it fucking sucks. It's expensive and it's a lot of work. But the problem is why people are so quick to be like, no, you don't understand. I can't just diet and exercise. I have things wrong with me. It's literally accountability, because you don't want to have to do the exercise and you don't want to have to do the diet, which are two things you have to do. Why is everyone so mentally ill? Because your gut is connected to your fucking brain. It is, whether you like it or not.
100%.
So you probably have a bad gut. You probably have candida and all these different things. And it's so funny because all it comes down to is accountability. No one wants to do the work because clearing your gut is and like actually getting it healthy is like extremely difficult. No one wants to do that.
You know, this reminds me of, most people listening to this probably won't know this quote, but there's a really funny Kim Kardashian quote where she's like, it's like nobody wants to work anymore.
Who doesn't know that quote?
And it's like, but it's so iconic, and it's funny because I feel like someone could take Emily saying this. It's like, no one wants to do the work anymore. And it's like her Kim K moment, except I 100% agree with you. You could sign my name to that quote. Sign my name to that quote. But also the other thing I've noticed with a lot of these diet pills, I know a million people who are on them. I know not really over, like I have a friend, and she just like, she had another kid a few years ago, and like, she just hasn't been able to shed the weight, but it's also because like, listen, she's a really busy mom. She has 4 kids. She has a crazy schedule. It's a hard life, but like, I personally would not trust these drugs to go on. Like, I would not do it just to lose like 15 pounds. I just don't think it's worth it.
You just eat at home.
Yeah. But also the thing is, people are doing the pill instead of changing anything in their lifestyle. So they're doing it so that they could eat the same stuff, not work out, not sleep more.
Yeah, that's
like,
a problem.
You know what fixes your life? Sun, sleep, simple foods. a little exercise.
It's crazy how the littlest thing can make such a difference. Like I noticed that like we live in a pretty walkable area. Like when first of all, if I used to hike every single morning for years and I never missed a day, and that was the best shape I've been in. And when I told people I don't work out, meaning I don't go to the gym, they were like, how is this even possible? And I'm like, no, it's just consistency. It's like I hike 7 days a week. Most people do not hike 7 days a week. They get a hike in on like a weekend if they're lucky. But it's like even something as simple as walking. It's like, what's your excuse? Which is like fun. My friend made a video about that today, which he was actually factually fucking incorrect on everything. But he was saying like, oh, the reason Italy's like healthier than us, blah, blah. He tried to say it's not the food and drug industry because they walk more.
That's bullshit. That's food.
You're fucking 100%
also,
wrong.
frankly, everyone in Europe is skinnier because they smoke. And I don't think it'd be the worst thing if we brought cigarettes back to America. I'm just going to say
I'd be fine
it.
with people smoking.
I think it'd be better for us. I think if people were a little skinnier, just smoking cigs, I think. And it's like a vibe. Also.
I was going to ask, has anyone else been put in the cabinet I don't know about? I've like logged off today because today was my errand day. Got my nails done. Thank you guys. Period. Just seen it. I was like, is anyone new in the cabinet that also shot their dogs I need to know about?
Oh my God. No, there isn't anything. There hasn't been really anything all that new. Like we had UFC over the weekend, which was great. Let me take a look at Twitter for a second.
That was the most like iconic, them all walking out. I was like, I just can't imagine being a hater through the fucking most like the funniest, most insane time I think in history is like literally just right now. And I just can't imagine being a fucking hater through it and like not enjoying it. Because how do you like look at that video and you're like, yeah, he's like pure evil. Like it's literally funny.
It's so
like
iconic.
Look, everyone loves him.
Well, you know what I love? I love that they're referring to it as the, oh my God, I'm blanking on it right now. It's the broligarchy.
Oh, I kept seeing that. I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
It's just like instead of like oligarchy, whatever, it's like broligarchy because the bros.
Oh, okay. I was like, I've never seen this word before. That makes a lot more sense.
Broligarchy. So it's like the rise of the broligarchy, and I really love it because you know what? Like America swung so far left into like, you know, girls run the world, like girl boss energy, men suck, like we need female leaders, and this is like a big smack in the face to that. And it's like, absolutely not. We tried that. And our response to that is our next president, former president, soon to be next president at UF fucking C with Dana White. Like, it just doesn't get more masculine and alpha than that.
Kid Rock chilling.
And that is like I keep forgetting Kid Rock. That's right. But like, that is the exact, like the pendulum swung so far. Yeah. They tried so hard to, again, make everyone like they tried to make women into these short haircut, like pixie haircut, androgynous, fat nippled freaks. And we were like, no.
Nope.
If you're ever sad, just call me and say you're sad and I'll just say fat nippled freaks.
Like literally I'm like trying so hard to just keep a straight face every single time and just it literally never works. I would also like to give myself some credit. You could pull back news clips, rants, anything. 4 years ago, I literally said the world swings on a pendulum and it's going to overcorrect itself. So like I hope it goes far right. I don't care. I'm not worried about that at all. But I hope it does. Because
Emily,
I believe it's true.
Stop it. Like our shows, thank God, is too small for like, what are those like absolute, I was gonna say a really bad word. That would just be too offensive to say. But what are those losers at like Media Matters? I was going to say a different like slur, just whatever. But what are those Media Matters people? Like they watch Daily Wire and like all kinds of like conservative stuff to just like shit on us. Thank God they're not watching this because they'd be like, conservative influencer calls for the alt-right to take over. Yeah. You're like, you hope we go we don't want to go far right. We don't want to go far. We just want to go very... If anyone's just listening and not watching the video,
you guys really need to watch.
And you need to watch because Emily is just making a look of like, no, is that what I'm saying?
Stress. And it makes it a lot more entertaining if you actually physically watch the show.
No, Emily, it's not Tourette's because Tourette's is when you're not actually controlling. It's like not actually showing what's going through your mind.
Yeah.
showing exactly what's going through your mind.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't know, whatever the opposite is, because it's actually like whatever I'm
It's just
thinking,
honesty.
I'm expressing.
You know what's funny is that like you're very good at poker, but you're not good on the show, not showing your feelings, which
You
I
know what?
love.
Oh, here, this will be something lighthearted because
Wait.
I know this is a dark side episode. Dude, it's crazy. It's like, what time is it? It's 4:48. It's about to be pitch black here. So so obviously it's hard because in Los Angeles, you know, especially in West Hollywood area, you know, when you want a good matcha, you got to go to the liberal of the most liberal places. And that's very hard for me. One thing about me, there's a certain point I can tolerate you. And then if I support you, I just think I'm being a hypocrite and a piece of shit. And I'm very ashamed. So I was getting my boyfriend knows all the matchas I go to because he probably sees it on his credit card statements because that's the only thing I buy when I leave the house. So I'm getting my car washed and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, this place across the street makes one of the best matchas in LA. And I mean, they really make the shit out of this fucking matcha. And I was like, we literally call this place the trans coffee shop. It's like, it's as far left as you could possibly be. They literally have
everyone has, I just imagine all the baristas have pronouns and fat nipples. Is that right? And they're all hairy, but all the hair is in the wrong place.
I'm not even joking. During the pandemic, they had a defund the military latte.
Oh my God.
They have like ice socialism iced tea. Like, I'm not even joking. It's this bad.
As they charge you $9 for your iced latte.
Well,
and it's like
$10. And I was just like, you know what? I'm so like, I like very gnarly about this place. And like the owners blocked me on LinkedIn. I like harassed them, Instagram, Twitter. I like literally harassed this coffee shop.
Emily, you're literally blocked by the owner of the coffee shop on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Are you sure? They're probably poisoning your lattes. They're probably putting like Miralax in it when you're not looking.
I talked about them in a manner that anyone with a brain would potentially block you. As I borderline sexually harassed them as well. So I like was like, fuck it, I'm going there. So I like have my glasses on. I get my fucking iced matcha. I like literally walk back and like my boyfriend picks me up and he like looks at me and he's like, where'd you get a matcha from? And I'm like, I'm not gonna say it. And then he like looks at me. He takes a sip of it. He's like. Fuck, what is that? That's delicious. And he's like, organic pistachio milk? And we're like going off and he's like, where'd you get it from? And he looks at the credit card statement. I'm like, it was the trans coffee shop. I'm a fucking traitor. And for like 20 minutes, he's like, I can't believe you fucking go there. Like, you're such a fucking hypocrite. Then starts going off on a rant how actually I'm not a Republican. I'm low-key a fucking secret liberal. And then we just get into a full-blown argument over it.
Oh my God. Well, listen, it's better that someone I mean, he's not in the space. We know that. But it's better that someone on the right accuses you of being a secret liberal than a Fed, because everyone's accused of being a Fed in this space. That's something I've learned. I actually had someone... who was it? It's like, Declaration of Memes, that account.
Yeah.
So we were chatting on Telegram and I have a screenshot from the top of my phone because he was catching up on his podcast episodes recently. Yeah. And he got to the Timcast episode that I was on. And I just have a screenshot from the top of my phone going, I'm at the part where they're all talking about how they think you're Mossad.
Oh my God.
Like I'm at that. And I'm like, yeah, it's only because it's because everyone in the space, especially when you're new or if you're like successful and new, people just assume you're a Fed. They just assume you're a Fed. But that's because fair. I'm Jewish, they assume I'm Mossad. And so I just thought that was a very funny message.
They don't get to pull that shit with me because I'm like agnostic. So I'm like, no one can put me in any like weird category. So I'm just like, no, it's okay. I'm whatever like you guys want me to be.
I was going to say something, but now I can't remember. It was before on your rant about the fat nipple tranny.
I'm never going to go there again. It was my last time, I swear.
I don't believe you for an absolute second.
Just like, let me have this one fucking
I know
thing.
What I was going to say. I want to show this. I wish we had like like how Joe Rogan displays things so nicely.
Yeah.
So somebody posted this, not as a joke, on Twitter. Hold on. Let's see if the camera gets it. It's not getting it at all. Oh, that's a bummer. I wonder if there's a way to edit this in because it really is so. Here we go.
Oh, wait, now I see it.
Here we go. Do you see this?
Fuck.
Oh my God.
Is that a fucking Muslim pirate?
It's a black hijabi amputee talking about what is solo poly. So I've never heard of this. Solo polyamory is a type of polyamorous configuration. Solo poly people tend to see that themselves. Oh my God. Oh my God. They tend to see themselves as their own primary. What? Does that mean they're just
like
masturbating?
a primary care doctor? I don't understand.
Solid people, wait, I feel like I'm doing a riddle right now, okay? Solid people tend to see themselves as their own primary. So they're just taking care of themselves. They usually have multiple separate or intertwined polyamorous dynamics. They are committed to their polyamorous relationships. They don't depend on the relationship escalator to express their commitment. I have no idea what I just read. I feel like I'm having a stroke because I don't feel like that was English. And all I know is that the example cartoon they're using on this is literally, let's try to display this again. Give me a second. It's a black hijabi amputee, okay, as the cartoon example. By the way, I like how they show that she has boobs, but she's demure and cute and modest with her.
They didn't give her a amputee leg like you would get. That's robotic. It's a fucking pirate hook.
Pirate hook. Can
you text me that though? Anyways, can you send me that?
It's so, I don't even know. Like,
sorry, I feel like I'm
high. I don't do drugs. I feel like this is what it's like to be high and read English. Like, I'm like, what is this saying?
I used to love drugs, and if you showed me that, I would lose my mind.
What does this mean? Solid people tend to see themselves as their own primary. Every time I read the word themselves, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Like my stomach flips every time I read the line. Solid people tend to see themselves as their own primary.
About a sexual, the way you sexually identify, or is this talking about you in a relationship, or is this talking about religion?
I don't know. I think it's meant to represent.
I'm not stupid. They are
the fish hooked legged black solo poly hijabi community.
That's going to be my next Halloween costume.
You know what? This works so well because if you go to any of the universities now, it's just a woke madrasa where they teach you underwater hijab weaving. So this is perfect. No, it's not a real thing. Oh. So that's basically what you're learning at Harvard.
You could literally tell me anything right now and I would just believe it.
No, but this is real.
I disbelieve it.
Wait, so this is a real thing. But I'm still confused. I hope people in the comments can help us understand this, but I don't think anyone who listens to us would understand this.
So back to why I hope we course correct and the pendulum swings and overcorrects that this is maybe why we need to bring back.
I actually feel sick reading that. It makes absolutely no sense. I feel like I just went through a roller coaster. I feel ill. Okay, let's talk about course correcting. Oh, I love this. Do you guys see Miss Universe was from Denmark and she has a hot blonde chick?
And not
Why is my camera moving? Not for the first time, a real actual woman, not a man. Although I'm always afraid that they're gonna be jokes on you. It's actually a man. But we have an actual woman who won Miss Universe, which honestly, I think the points are real that so many things are happening since Trump won, where all these companies are getting rid of DEI programs. All these football teams are not going to do the LGBTQI plus A ampersand exclamation point, whatever, celebrations and parades. And they're all deciding to not do it. Trump's not even in office yet. And it's oh, you mean you guys were able to do this and to actually stand by these values this whole time? This whole time, because they're just so driven by money that now that they realize that we have the popular vote, they're oh, it's the popular vote. So now we're gonna,
and then didn't AOC and a bunch of people take pronouns out of their bio?
Yeah, but I saw that she did some live stream where it was obviously staged for her to be wait, you're telling me I don't have pronouns in my bio anymore? And on the stream, she's oh, I'm sorry. They just fell off. They fell off somehow, which by the way, doesn't happen.
That's not how that works.
Pronouns don't just fall off. It's when someone's oh, they accidentally had sex. It's oh, you mean you accidentally took your pants off and accidentally fell into her? It doesn't work like that. So for AOC to be
how stupid do you think we are?
No, the pronouns are they fell off. So she just got called out and put them back on.
Well, also people forget too, the crazy thing about DEI is not only is it just to drop the standards for everything because they want everyone just like dumb and useless, and then they want like it's Democrats funneling money into their own pockets. And it's funny too because when you look at all these companies and you see the funding and budgets for DEI, it's 100% a waste of fucking money, especially when all these companies are like slowly going under. Like so many places go out of business in LA. It's insane. My favorite coffee shop, 11 years, drove there the other day. Oh, what do you know?
I was on the phone with you.
Yeah, and I would fucking freak the fuck out. That was like literally one of the worst days I've had in a long time.
That was so sad for you. You drove through. By the way, like poor Emily
messaged me and they were like, "Are you okay?" Because like we know how upset you probably are right now. And I was like, "No, I'm not fucking okay. I'm actually not okay. I don't know where I'm going to get my strawberry matchas from my hipster fucking place that only has 2 locations left, and it was 3, and now it's down to 1. Okay, and if that one goes under, then I will." Fucking hell will freeze over.
You got to make it at home the way I do.
I'd rather die to make my matcha at home.
But this reminds me of like talking about all the DEI bullshit. Like it was all, there was like a Joe Rogan clip. I don't know if it was a recent clip or just, I feel like I've seen this from him before and maybe got resurfaced, just talking about how the Pentagon has never passed an audit. Things like that, where like they've misplaced billions upon billions of dollars that are just unaccounted for. It's like,
how does that work?
And if we don't pay, if I miss $200 for my taxes, I could go to jail.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So how does it work when you're there? I don't know, when they're, I'm not going to say it on here, but whatever they do, when you purchase something, I assume it's not cash, and I assume there's receipts and there's paper trails. So how are they just misplacing like hundreds of millions and billions of dollars?
It's so nuts. But also, one of the things that I saw this weekend a lot over X, were just like, and people don't care as much because it's over, but just like the actual receipts of what Kamala's campaign spent money on. Did you see this? Colin Rugg he had a good post, and I'm trying to find it, but it's so far back. No, but it's like, so it's performers, but also they spent like $15K on Uber Eats, and like
it's probably all for that one Democratic influencer. Continue on.
Oh God. Oh, so perfect. So perfect. I hope she comes after us. That'd be so good. She would eat us. She'd eat us.
I pray.
But we could outrun her. She definitely can't run. It would be fine.
God have mercy on her soul if she ever claps back at me.
No, I know. But she would try to eat us because we're little snacks.
Little snack for her.
But no, he just broke down the insane, like they spent like crazy money just in 2 weeks on private jets and like on all these, and like the fact that, think about how sad this is, like Elon Musk paid his own money to help the Trump campaign. He was giving out $1 million a day. She gave like $500K to Al Sharpton just before he went on TV to endorse her, the great race baiter Al Sharpton.
Oh, 100,000 on the Call Her Daddy set.
On the set. That was not an 100K set also. It's just crazy the amount of money that they spent. I'm seeing if there's anything else that we wanted to.
I know she spent like $1 million on Lizzo, so the Uber Eats might have also just been for her.
It could have just been for Lizzo and that 21-year-old influencer, and just the two of them probably. Although Lizzo's like been working on herself. She like took time off and she lost the weight.
So she's on Ozempic too. Great.
So she's on Ozempic. So everyone's on Ozempic. I saw a post that, because Bill Maher, he's annoying, but he has his moments where he's right. And I like this. Rob Henderson, he's the one who came up with the phrase luxury beliefs. Like the idea that like only in like really like wealthy societies can you care about the signs on your bathroom. Like people in Africa don't give a shit. Like pronouns only come out of an environment that's so wealthy that you have no other problems, that you have to make your own problems. And that's
that I agree with.
Yeah. So Rob Henderson is the one that came up with that. Like he coined that phrase and he has a book about it. So he tweeted this, and it's a clip from Bill Maher from I think probably Friday night. And like it's when Chris Cuomo's on the show. And he says, Bill Maher says something completely inoffensive, that McDonald's is delicious. And his panel acts as if he has just dropped a bombshell piece of information. Part of assimilation into upper middle class norms is to pretend fast food isn't delicious. I think that's very true.
I think that's fair too.
Yeah.
The thing is, I know it's fucking disgusting and I don't eat it, but I'm not going to sit here and act like it is not insanely delicious. To be fair though, I'm super upset because I know Chick-fil-A is like now not even using organic chicken or some fucked up shit like that. But it's like, I had In-N-Out last night.
Yeah.
I'm not better than you.
But here's the thing. There's a point where feeling good is better than it tasting good.
Yeah, of course.
And
the better you start to feel, the more those things make you feel like shit. So the less often you eat it, because when you are healthy and you eat it, you're like, holy shit. When you're already sick, it doesn't really matter. But I will say In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A are like my two favorites. I will always eat In-N-Out. I will never not eat In-N-Out.
I love Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A
sauce. It's so
I know,
good.
but it's like like the ingredients are so bad. I was watching someone dissect it the other day.
Don't.
I know.
We're just not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Why would you?
I want it now.
I want it. I want a Diet Dr. Pepper and some Chick-fil-A. Because also, wait, okay, we're so underserved in the Diet Dr. Pepper community. Okay, we're not represented. We're like never. I actually like at the airport. I checked every single location because I had a 20-minute walk to my gate because it was one of those where I was like, holy, like thank God I'm like on time and not rushing because I could have missed my flight from the walk. It was so insane. And I stopped at no fewer than 10 places and then finally found a Diet Dr. Pepper that I got to bring here to store away. We'll talk about this another time. It's so good, but you're crazy. Like you don't do that well on caffeine. So, but the one thing I want us to wrap up with, because I know we have to go in a minute and we both have stuff, but I just want to say Joe Biden walking away from the podium this weekend into like the Amazon jungle. Did you see this?
No.
He was speaking somewhere, and this is like real foot. Again, I don't know if this is going to show, but it's like he's just walking. It's not AI. Like he's actually just walking off into the Amazon. And my favorite caption was from this account that wrote, "That's so beautiful. They're releasing him back into the wild."
The earth is healing. How crazy that he's our current president.
He's still the president, apparently. He's still the president.
Like, yeah. He's our fucking president.
I forgot. I mean, Trump's been acting like president for 4 years.
For like literally 15 years.
Well, yeah, 8 years. But he's been like the acting. He was president, and now he's acting president for the last few years. Which, by the way,
we were randomly watching 2 Weeks Notice last night. I love that movie.
I love that movie.
I never realized Trump is in it just as himself.
Oh, when is he in it?
They're at the big like
the
party at the end. Oh, and then he's like, oh, Trump. And he's like, oh yeah. Like he like makes some comment about his like buildings making money or something. And like, we literally were like,
that's so funny. Him. He's so iconic. I love this man.
It's so crazy how you could not love him.
He's so good. I saw it, but here's what we'll end with. I saw a tweet and people it's like kind of girl humor, but it's so true, which is Donald Trump is Princess Diana for heterosexual men.
It's fair.
And based women though, I would add, and based women, but he is Princess Di. Except he will live a very long time, God willing.
We love him so much.
Yeah, we love him. All right, guys, thanks for joining, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.